Now we have the troublemaker, Lanny.
The troublemaker?
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Lanny Swerdlow is, I thought, when I was watching him on TV last night, I thought, this guy's at least 10, 15 years younger than me. And then I looked at his bio and I see he's actually 3 years older than me. And so I'm thinking, he's an embodiment of how that beautiful plant lowers your free radicals and keeps you young. and you know, also revealed to me last night, I thought he was just really a warrior and a advocate, but I see that his heart of heart is that he's a healer and a teacher, and he wants to promote a more natural way of medicine than we see going on in corporate money-driven medicine. But I think let's see the man speak for himself. He's an embodiment of a man who went out, became a nurse at age whatever, and wants to benefit and contribute to our society. I salute you, sir.
You have no idea how pleased I am. You know, I've received a couple of awards over the last 10 years or so that I've been doing this. This is the first time I've ever received an award from a non-marijuana organization. So thank you very much. You know, and I kind of think about that, you know.
It's high time.
Yeah, it's high time, exactly. Oh, I love it. I love it. You can write my speeches for me. You know, I was thinking it's interesting. This is the first time I've ever been recognized by a marijuana organization. You know, and I have tried to talk to a lot of organizations. I say, you know, we network with them. We like to come make presentations about this stuff. They're always scared. You know, they're worried. Oh no, we can't have this up there. It's too controversial or whatever. So it's really a pleasure to be here. One of the things I want to mention, because this is an organization about peace, and you know, Jenny, when she spoke, she talked about how we stopped the Viet Nam War. You know, back in that days, remember the slogan was "Make love, not war." And if you remember, cannabis, marijuana, was an important point. Everybody was smoking marijuana back then. And the fact is the matter, it may have these legendary benefits for, you know, relieving pain and treating nausea and helping with depression and this kind of stuff. But by golly, it makes people more peaceful. It makes people more calm. It makes them more tolerant. It makes them more open-minded. And you know, the people who are opposing us so strongly, you know, even the medicinal use of cannabis, they're generally the warmongers too. The reason they hate marijuana so much is they blame marijuana. They blame the fact that people were using marijuana back in the Vietnam War times as the reason we lost the war. You'll read about that. They undermined our competitiveness or whatever. So they see it as a, you know, that's why they can't deal with it on a rational basis. You try to give them all these scientific studies, it doesn't matter. It's a moral issue, it's a cultural issue to them. And we can't have this happen again because look what it did during that time. Well, that was one of the best things about it. So thank you.
Let me add a point. Let me add a point.
You want to add a point, Tom? Here.
Last year we honored the Palm Springs Police Chief. And so this year we're honoring Lanny Swerdlow. We've made quite a transition during the past year, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Especially after my meeting with the chief police. Just want to point out one thing, and then I'm going to sit down because it's been going on. You know, we talked about how it's beneficial uses for, you know, pain and nausea and all this kind of stuff. You know, I'm really serious about it. It calms people down. It makes people more peaceful. If people would smoke marijuana and stop drinking alcohol, we'd be a lot better off. And people want to party, so let them smoke cannabis. And you know, the thing I want to point out is when you use cannabis, it's not just benign. It's not just benign, it's very good for you. And besides all the things I just mentioned, there is a study I want to point out here that you really need to know about. And I have some copies of this magazine if you'd like to get a copy of it afterwards. This is a study that came out in August, last month, in a magazine called Cancer Research. It's one of these peer-reviewed, evidence-based periodicals. And in it, 7 medical researchers had come to the conclusion that the quote was 10 to 20 years of marijuana smoking resulted in a significant, not just a decrease, in a significant decrease in the development of head and neck squamous cell cancer as compared to people who didn't smoke marijuana. Do you want to hear what it says? smoking marijuana 10 to 20 years made these people less likely to develop head and neck squamous cell cancer than people that didn't smoke any marijuana. In other words, using cannabis is a cancer preventative. And the point is, using it is not, if you get head and neck squamous cell cancer and you start using marijuana then, oh, that might have some help. But to get the true cancer preventative properties of cannabis, you have to use it long term. So, and there's a lot of other studies out there that show this anti-cancer benefit, not in humans, in laboratory rats. This study was significant because it's the first study that actually showed the difference in humans. So, you might think about it. If you have a family history of cancer, and you're not using cannabis, you're shortening your life. Thank you very much.
Veterans for Peace Inland Empire 2009 Peace Day Award for Outstanding Service, Lanny Swerdlow, RN, Medical Marijuana and Law Reform Advocate. We cherish your work for peace, justice, and patients' access to medical marijuana. Thank you.
Let's give him one more big round of applause. And while we're doing that, it suddenly strikes me, and I have the answer of why they don't like cannabis. It's because if they smoked it, they start telling the truth, and then we'd all know.